The most basic kind of, it's going to be more advanced, but the most basic stuff to go over is when you look at team compositions, you have to answer 2 questions. I'll just use this board for this. We usually starting with, okay, let me just do it this way. Okay, so we're starting with what angles you guys want to take, and it's all about the scale, understanding, are you taking those soft angles or are you taking hard angles? By hard angles, I mean it can be more separate, it can be more split, kind of surround the enemy more. So example, with the dive, we typically take hard angles. That's one.
Yep.
Second thing is what range you guys are playing. And all of this here gives you understanding of what space you play for. With the range, it's kind of same scale. Going from the short to long range, usually, just to make it easy, okay? And you need to understand where you end up on the scale versus the enemy comp. You just do this and let's just say compare your composition to the enemy composition, okay? And then you need to identify those 2 questions. Just how do you guys gonna play? Let's say we have this here. We look at your composition versus the enemy composition. What do you would say about the angles? Do you play close to each other, kind of soft angles, or do you need to take more angles, be more split? What do you would say?
So for us in particular, probably sort of more grouped, or I think a few of us can take some soft angles. We don't, like you said before, we don't really have any hard divers that can take hard angles, so I'd rule that out. I think me and Ultron can take soft angles as well as Hulk. Hulk's got the mobility.
Okay.
Even Elsa as well. She's got good range. So it really it's a mix, I'd say, because Hulk's very
Yes.
he has to get up close.
Yes,
He has
it's
to get up
always a
close.
mix, but that's how you compare. That's why I need to understand the main
Yeah,
directions
yeah,
of the compositions. Well, okay, let's start with the basic. What your composition is more about, if you like. Brawl, dive, or poke?
I think it's more poke, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like you have a lot of poke damage there. Yeah, you have Ultron, you have Elsa, you have Mantis and you, and Viz maybe can also fit in the poke too, but she also has a
Yeah,
lot of
she's got
sustain.
good range and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's how it goes with all the characters. You have a lot of versatility, but you kind of always identify this. Okay, we're starting with the poke now. The enemy composition. What do you would say?
I think predominantly poke as well.
Yeah, poke as well. Okay, and of course we see that poke versus poke, but that's why we're doing this comparison to of what you slightly stronger at. Yeah, even though they're both poke, yeah, there are differences. You have Hulk who can dive,
Yeah,
and they have maybe a slightly more poke potential, like longer range with the other characters. So then you can come up with what you're stronger at. Yeah, like think abuse your strengths. How do you win with the characters you have, and abuse their weaknesses. All right. So,
yep.
what do you would say? Who has stronger poke? Let's start with that again. Stronger poke on their side or your
I
side?
think I think their side.
Their side. Okay. So, what that means for us in terms of the range? Who is gonna be stronger at the fights? Yeah, like thinking about the scale. What are where we want to end up eventually? The short range fight, the long range fight.
Well, since they're stronger in poke, we should try and aim for a shorter range fight.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, see, again, it does mean that you will be fighting the short range right away because you have poke elements, most of it, but eventually you guys will be close in the distance, and I think specifically Hulk maybe can be Elsa, which they did, to win this fight. Yeah, that's why it kind of gives you
Yep.
direction, right? It doesn't say that your comp is brawl by stating it, or you need to use short range, right? But you're just comparing two compositions and seeing this is something what allows you to play short distance. Okay, that's one. Now let's maybe actually write it down. I can maybe also screenshot this for you for the reference. Yeah, I'll just say this poke versus poke
Yeah.
kind of idea. Okay, I'm gonna use
Thank you.
this. Okay, and poke versus poke. Okay. Uh, we would say so. It's easy for you to identify what's the direction is. You kind of have what we call poke dive hybrid, maybe because of the Hulk. That's it. But main direction is like 90% of it is poke. But it's also poke dive hybrid because there's some dive elements with Hulk. That's all. Like that's how we
Yeah,
could
yeah.
phrase it. Yeah, there might be also compositions where it's 50-50 or maybe like 60-40. Let's say you have more brawl characters, like 60% of them are brawl, and then the other maybe 40% is poke. Yeah, that's why a lot of the times you may hear this double term, poke dive hybrid, or I don't know, poke brawl hybrid or something. That's what it stands for. But your main idea is to not don't make it complicated, just to compare two compositions based on the angles and range, and then this is gonna be easy for you to decide, yeah, what you're gonna
Yep.
be doing. Okay, so in our case it's gonna be we're taking short angles. I mean, yeah, with the range it's gonna be a short range. And what about the angles? Who is stronger at taking angles, you or them?
Probably, I'd say them again. I
Mm,
think
let's
taking angles.
let's think about that. Yeah, they have more poke, right? But you also have dive elements, right? With
Oh,
the
okay. I
Hulk.
know what you mean. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The Hulk can take a lot of different angles. He can contest a lot of angles as well.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So the way it works is poke also likes to take angles, but the poke is somewhere in between usually. The brawl plays really stacked. Yeah, if we're talking about soft angles, this is like soft here usually. Poke plays somewhere in the
Yep.
middle. They also like to take angles, but not as much. Because if they would be too isolated, then they can be punished by divers, which can take hard angles. And that's why in your case, I would say arguably you take angles more. Okay,
Mm.
so we can lean towards this hard angle direction. Well, it's not like too hard, but you just take hard angles compared to the enemy. Okay,
Yep.
and that's why, if you know that, this already can give you an answer why you shouldn't be on the main in the first place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so because you taking angles, you bad at it, that means you need to surround the enemy and start there right away. Or if you don't know their composition first, that's fine too. But anyway, arguably, I would always start on the angles because you can always drop. But yeah, but if you see the composition, you can also stay there longer. And in
Yep.
the middle of the fight, you can also rotate to the angles too, because you simply may have slightly more power. And this is just, yeah, because your composition gonna evolve around the angles. Okay, yep, does it make sense?
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
think it makes sense.
yeah, let's just get us more examples. Okay, angles in their case gonna be hard angles, kind of leaning towards it. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Once there's gonna be compositional change, what about this? I mean, well, we can just do any. Let's do first point. Okay, your composition versus theirs. Same stuff. What do you think?
So predominantly poke with a bit of dive again for my team
Yeah.
with the Hulk,
Okay. Sure.
and their team, I'd say predominantly poke. Well, yeah, I'd say predominantly poke with a bit of dive slash brawl because Hulk can sort of brawl and dive, and Strange is a good
Mhm.
brawler too.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay. So two questions to answer: angles and range. What do you think? Let's start with the range. Are you guys gonna be winning your war at eventually? Long or short range pressure? What do you think?
Probably, I'd say shorter. Definitely shorter.
Shorter range.
I think.
So because of what? Let's see here. We have Hulk, Elsa,
So
Storm.
I think Hulk, definitely because of Hulk.
Yeah.
Storm has a sort of a. She's like medium sort of
Mm-hmm.
range, short
Yeah.
to medium.
Mm-hmm.
Elsa as well. She's not that too long range.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Me as well. I can operate in that medium to long.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Luna's sort of in medium to long, and Jeff has quite a long range. He can see anywhere, but I'd say definitely we lean more towards a shorter range. We're trying to keep the distance as short as possible.
Yeah. Okay. Eventually get close. Okay. And what about the angles?
The angles are soft to hard. Let me see. Uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna screenshot this comp too. Mm-hmm.
Angles, I'd say generally soft. I think Hulk can take hard angles though. He can get around everywhere. Storm's too slow. Elsa's she's not really sort of a dive character like that. She's more brawl slash poke. Um, I'd say mainly Hulk's taking the hard angles, but I think generally we want to keep soft angles. We want to stay close, and with Storm's, her damage ring when you stay in the range, you sort
Mm,
of want to stay in that.
well,
So I think definitely
sure.
soft angles.
Compare both compositions' mobility. Who has more mobility, you or them?
All right, so they got a Hulk as well. Same with Elsa.
Because this can
Just
always give you the easiest answer to understand who takes angles more, usually.
I think they have more mobility, or is it just me? I don't know. I'm just basing it off like the character's cooldowns because I know
Yeah,
Hulk can jump around quite a bit. Elsa can get up on height. She can move.
yeah,
Even Cloak can. Hawkeye's got a double jump. Strange can shift. He can fly up, and
okay.
now Adam can fly as well. So they've got a good mobility. But with us, I think the only immobile people on my team are me, and Luna. Um,
Arguably,
Storm,
with the speed, not
Storm.
sure. She can run.
Yeah, with this, that's true. That's true. She can be quite mobile like that. Um,
So let's maybe do it this way. Hulk, on the both teams, same. Yeah, so we remove the Hulk. We
yeah,
remove the
same.
Elsa, so it's the same amount of the mobility. Can also, yeah, just compare the other characters. Like, this is clearly poke stationary, the Hawkeye.
Pokes. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. So this is kind of, let's say, in spoke. Now, Cloak and Dagger, they have some mobility in a cloak form, right? They can maybe go up, but it's kind of one-time thing.
One
Versus,
time, it's a big cooldown too.
yeah,
Yeah.
versus the Jeff, where it's constant mobility. That's why
Yep.
initially you would say the first seasons they would play like flank Jeff, right? Because of the amount of the mobility they have. It's still possible to
Mm,
take angles on them. I feel like it's still viable because of
mm.
just how much mobility you have. Why not? Okay.
Yep.
Luna Snow can run all the time. Versus the Atom. With Atom flight, how frequent is that?
Uh, I know it's on a meter now. I know. I'm not sure the actual cooldown, but I know that when he uses it, it's like a sort of meter that drains, and he can get it back
Yeah, yeah,
over
yeah.
time.
Yeah, let's see. It's I just wonder how long it takes once they. I kind of never use that. Let me see. Just yeah, okay.
Yeah,
They
I'm
use it
surprised too.
3 seconds. Yeah, so it's quite like frequent
Three
probably.
seconds.
Yeah, meter, and then it restores for 3 seconds. Yeah. Oh well, we could say quite frequent.
Oh, so
But
3 seconds and then the meter goes up slowly. Okay.
yeah, exactly. Well, so yeah, it's actually maybe it's like 50-50. It's not as frequent compared to the Jeff or let's say Storm or Luna even. So I would say arguably
Yeah.
by looking at it, they're consistent characters with mobility like this. This in a way too because of the run. Well, let's say this is 100% because of verticality. They can always fly. They can always be in the off
Yep.
angle. Yeah, it's not like as
Yep.
fast mobility, but I know that they're slow, but they can be anywhere at the same time. So
Exactly. Yeah.
consistent flying like is gonna be really difficult to just drop. I mean, they can always play on the angle. So what do you think? Don't what do you say? Maybe you have more mobility then, or I feel like yes. It's just I know it's sometimes a little bit hard to judge, but I feel like
Mm. I
this
feel
is
like yes as well. Yeah.
one way cooldown. So this is like they use something and then that's it. They use something, that's it. They use something, that's it. You have more frequent mobility. I feel like with all those
Yeah. Yeah.
characters. Yeah,
It's more essential to their character. Like it's more the core of their character.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's sometimes maybe a little bit hard to judge, but that's how I would do that. You just always look at the
But
mobility.
yeah, I
Mobility,
understand now what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, mobility always gives you an answer of what's happening. Yeah, what's gonna be happening, generally speaking. So that's why taking angles is not bad most of the time for you too. That's why this can work a lot of the times. Like you could stay the same. My Hawk wanted me to stay on the main and play here, right? But in reality, there's no need. Well, it's still, even though your team would like to take angles, I mean, sorry, play softer angles, this does mean that you cannot take the spot. You just, you kind of drop this main earlier because of it. That's
Mm.
all. That's how I would think about that. Oh well,
Yep.
yeah, okay. Yeah, does it make sense so far? Or any
So you're
questions?
saying I should have dropped there earlier?
No. Again, your composition.
No. Okay.
What is that about?
Yeah. I know what
Yeah,
you mean. Yeah.
yeah. You take hard angles, so this is gonna be okay for you to keep playing there. You just if
Mhm.
you would be having this like softer composition, maybe you can drop early, but
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you have to judge again. The angle's always good to start with. It's fine. It's fine to keep holding that most of the time. All
Mhm.
right. Well, we can get more examples if you want to. Let's just maybe see if there is anything else. Do you have any other game we can take a look at?
Yeah. Let me pull up a game.
Yeah, of course.
Just a random. Oh. Yeah. I just sent you a message.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, we can just do comparing to the matchups. Just compare to compositions and see how should you play. Yeah, do you have any
Mhm.
questions about anything maybe or
Uh. Not yet. No. I think I'm understanding it. Making sense.
yeah,
It's just a bit hard to grasp straight up, but yeah, I think once I understand it a bit more, it'll come to me naturally.
yeah,
The
yeah,
process.
yeah, that's all good. That's fine. Okay, let's take a look. So we're doing the same. Let's compare your composition to the enemy composition. What are your thoughts?
Okay. So we'll start with whether it's predominantly poke, brawl, or dive. So my composition. What do we have? Uh, I'd say is it predominantly poke for team A for my team.
Okay, so what does mean? What range and what angles you guys gonna play?
So range, I think we want to play long range here.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay.
and angles. So soft to hard angles. I think we can definitely play. We can play soft angles. I don't think we need to do really hard angles. I've seen pennies flank and stuff, but that's really situational. But I think definitely a softer, excuse me, softer angles in this situation.
Yeah, let's compare.
We could take high.
Just to fully identify, it's always easy if you compare two comps and see who has more mobility, you or the enemy team in general.
Enemy team.
Yeah, enemy
feel.
because Black Panther, maybe this guy, yeah, the Deadpool, Wanda.
Maybe Wonder as well.
Yeah, it definitely feels like so. Okay, so that's why you think you can start soft angles. It does mean that you have to start on the main though too. Yeah, you can maybe still start on the angles. So just eventually you're thinking about this. If something goes wrong, you always go soft angles and get closer to the rest of the core. Especially when you have this better map control, the point control with the penny.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, just something to think about. That's why usually people on the mag they like start. You may start here. I'm not sure. It's maybe okay to install the bridge to just sort of shooting, then you can rotate here and do something. Just kind of sit in this position, keep shooting the choke. But yeah,
I like sitting in that little doorway there, usually.
Yeah. Because this way you partially, if you know they will take angles, that means that I'll just write it down also. You take soft angles and you play long range, you have to deal with them taking angle. It's gonna be really important to shoot who. Who should be your first priority to deal with on the enemy team? What do you would say?
In terms of target priority, is that what you mean?
Yeah, of course. If they like to take angles, if they like to play hard angles, what that means for you, who you will be shooting.
Panther. If they like to take hard angles.
Yeah, Panther.
Black Panther. Yep. Definitely Wanda as well. I think Wanda can do that. She can get around.
Yes, exactly. So this means for you that your attention never always fully in the front line like this. It's rather make sure that this guy is dealt with. Like there's no way he's sitting there for free. You always need to be mindful. We've seen the rotation here, so what are the two possible ways they can come in a fight, right? So they can go here, comes to the room. Okay, that's one way. Maybe they can also go above. Yeah, there's a possibility to go here, right? And you have to always be mindful. You cannot keep the attention here because this is how there's a high risk of losing this fight then. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, you like to be playing soft angles, but we really want to shoot this guy. We really want to shoot the guys like this on the angles because otherwise it's gonna be tough. Let me see did the Black Panther engage eventually? Yeah, they did. Then there's Loki Lamb being forced. Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. Okay, we keep playing though here. See, your attention is probably gonna be on the person, just depending on the context too. I think backline's better, but the preference is on the angles first. If this guy's taking an angle, I feel like try to displace him, try to boop them off, and then after that you can keep going to shooting anyone else. But there's even higher priority for you. You have to keep this guy busy. If there's no way that... Yeah, there's no way it's gonna be like too easy otherwise for you guys. Okay. I feel like if we don't pay too much attention, I know it's with the penny, it's more like you have more passive power in a way with the mines, but against like really good flankers, Black Panther, whatnot, like maybe Deadpool as well, who likes to take angles. Eventually, you guys will be losing the fights like this. Just if they play it properly, it'll be really tough if we don't deal with the angles here. Like this little thing is fine. Yeah, sure, support taking angles fine, but you also need to deal with the other people before they even get to the position, the Black Panther. some more attention. Constant uptime too. Of course, if they don't show up, then you keep shooting the front line here. You keep shooting the main. But if they do, then yes, you have to.
So just turn around and just shoot him a little bit. Just try and kill them.
Exactly. There's a reason
Yeah.
why you have the damage, which is AoE, so you can check the angles like this from the range too. So I can AoE damage here still, if he's thinking in like that, or you can still AoE damage here too. Yeah, we just have to do that more frequently. I know the fight's still going good for you, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't check. Yeah, just to kind of something you guys gonna be mindful of. Yeah, for example, here I don't see Black Panther where he's coming from. You need to put attention on this angle now, right? Because there's only one way, another angle where he is coming from. Because now if he does everything perfectly and the rest of his team plays okay way, then that's gonna be hard. You know, the mistake he does is he goes back to his team, which he shouldn't. He should just keep walking here, or maybe like try to take this side or something and then keep the good uptime. You just unnecessarily walking back, and this takes a lot of time. That's why you guys are not losing this. But if this would be better, Black Panther, then I would say pretty tough if you don't pay attention to him. Just constant uptime with the combos, but now he keeps wasting parts of the combo, parts of the mobility to get to here. So that's why it doesn't
he has to set up again as well.
Takes a lot of time. But I probably bet that you guys are gonna be losing to the angles somehow later, but let's see. I'm not sure, but and maybe it's ultimates too, but it's just more, there's such a big chance to lose the angles here. See, like, we kind of, did you see the Emma dropping in the left side? She was over here. Also, the Black Panther is over here. Well, anyway, you guys got the pick, so maybe it's more forgiving, but yeah, let's keep watching. Alright. Okay, this guy, eventually, he got wild. Let's see if he stays on the angle. Yeah, he actually does. Okay, I think that's where you guys might lose the fight. Oh, I was right. As soon as he stays there. Okay, well, anyway. But this...
So what does him staying there do to us? Like, why is that better for him? So it increases his uptime? Does that just make us think, oh, Black Panther's behind us and we sort of forget about him?
It's all over it, but mostly it's uptime because you just you have to deal with the angle, so he will not have he will not have such an easy opportunity to go on you. Let's say he's done it from the angle, I'll go on you this way and keep repeating that. But the mistake is he went from A and then he goes here. Let's call it like position B. So he has to do this entire rotation again to push you, but he could be doing something like go to A and then like go to C and then keep pushing you. But if I want to reach from B to C, it takes me like 1, 2. Yeah, here I can do 1 and then 1 again, yeah, 1 again, like maybe from, let's say, D or something. It just as soon as he starts doing that, you guys, there's a high chance that they will get wild. Let me see. What's they gonna do? Okay, so they get an angle eventually. Yeah. So this is, maybe it's not like getting as much value, it seems, but at least because they hear it's distracting.
Drag color away, yeah.
Yeah, it drags the attention of your people, so this wastes the time, and now this may be harder for you guys to do anything. Yeah, this guy got a lot of value too, not necessarily with the angles maybe, but let's see. Could we be dealing with this too? Okay, so our attention on the front line, keep shooting here, the Black Panther got a kill. This guy has an ultimate, so they just kind of keep rushing in. Try to get value with our... Okay, sure. Eventually there's another pick. Don't want to keep playing main on the point. That's a big mistake. We should be going to where? Remember, you're playing long-range composition too. Yeah, you're losing those short-range fights. Where should it be going?
You gotta up on height?
Maybe, yeah. You can also, I don't know, what is data rotations you can make?
So from where I am now,
yeah.
From here, definitely that small doorway on the right, or I could go the doorway onto the left, I feel.
Maybe, yeah. So it's mostly just, you don't want to hold them to point, let them get ticks, because if you keep holding, then there's a really high chance you're losing this entire point afterwards, right? And just kind of keep
too much pressure, yeah.
Yeah, we keep staying here for no reason, and It's kind of like more fundamental idea too, just with any comp, but yeah, especially with your comp. You're playing long range comp, so take the time, give them 2 ticks, and then after that you can be retaking, because you would be playing defensive, and then after that there's a high chance that something, yeah, you guys should be doing something, because now the Doctor Strange TP comes in, yeah, and this becomes much easier. But yeah, eventually those guys, because they will have an advantage versus you face to face, that's why there's a high chance for them to win with the P like that on the point directly in their face. But that's partially us, like the part of the problem here. We just have to be kiting earlier. Oh well, anyway, it's gonna be a little bit tough
Yeah.
fight to win. Okay, yeah. Any questions so far about anything, or does everything make sense?
No, everything's making sense
Okay,
thus
okay.
far.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I feel like maybe you can just start summarizing. I think we're done. Yeah, we've gone over quite a lot of stuff right now. Yeah, you
Yeah.
tell me. What are your thoughts? What do you need to work on based on our session today?
Um. Well, earlier we went through just. I think with the bubbles, I think self bubbles good. Like it's
Mhm.
gotten a lot better. Even the team bubbles better. I just need to work on just delaying slightly and just bubbling at the critical moment.
Mhm.
Um, also, we discussed the reloading habit. That's minor. That can be fixed.
Mhm. Yeah.
And with the cooldowns, try and use it more frequently with purpose. Still, with purpose,
Mhm.
not just spam the cooldowns. Just use it more frequently with purpose. So it's not just I'm not sitting on cooldowns for too long because it's just a waste of utility. We discussed the ultimates, using cooldowns before ultimates is a good habit to develop. So we go through the team compositions,
Mhm.
identifying what. So I think going forward,
Mhm.
identifying what type of composition my team has and to play to that strength and determine what sort of range and angles we want to take. So are we going to try and stay long range if we're running like a very heavy poke composition, or we're going to try and stay at a shorter range, or we're going to take hard angles or soft angles, and that will also change depending on what the enemy's sort of running as well. So what type of comp are they running in comparison to us? Are they poke, brawl, dive? Do they want to fight long angles or short? Do they want to take hard angles or do they want to take soft angles? So there's a lot to take in there, but I think I'm understanding